Now we are talking about the implementation, of the new tax reform. If we implement that tax reform, Nigeria Airlines will go down in 3 months. The tax law of 2020 removed custom duties, removed on imported aircraft and imported aircraft spares and engines, removed VAT on imported aircraft and imported spare parts, removed VAT on ticket fares. That is the 2020 Act. Even then, airlines were still suffering so many other multiple charges all over the place. Now, the new tax law has brought those things back. All of them? All of them. The Nigerian airlines are heavily overburdened by taxes, levies, and all manner of charges. Just take a ticket of about 350,000. What comes to the airlines about 81,000 naira. And people, everybody's talking about the airlines as if they're making a kill. It's not true. The government has got to look into the excessive multiple taxation. We are suffering multiple taxation, multiple charges.
So you remit 5%?
Yes.
Mandatorily?
Mandatorily, or whatever. That is to NCA alone. There are so many other charges. And that does not mean you don't pay NCA for whatever service they render. So many charges. Now, the Nigerian airlines are heavily overburdened by taxes, levies, and all manner of charges. Just take a ticket of about 350,000. What comes to the airlines about 81,000 naira. And people, everybody's talking about the airlines as if they're making a kill. It's not true. The government has got to look into the excessive multiple taxation. We are suffering multiple taxation, multiple charges. For example, the NCA 5% for every ticket, and they will tell you that it's passenger that's paying it. And we in the airline industry are saying that if it is passenger, maybe you have to set up a desk at the airport and collect directly from the passengers, because when you take 5% from what we charge, it reduces the demand.
So you remit 5%?
Yes.
Mandatorily?
Mandatorily, or whatever. That is to NCA alone. There are so many other charges, and that does not mean you don't pay NCA for whatever service they render. ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization, states that you are not supposed to go into revenue generating for government. What you do is cost recovery. That is, you charge according to the cost of the services you render to the airlines. Not at the end of the year, NCA will become the second largest donor to the country's treasury. Who are the ones suffering in the airlines? And that's why the airlines are not growing. So many charges. Now, the tax law of 2020 removed custom duties, removed on imported aircraft and imported aircraft spares and engines, removed VAT on imported aircraft and imported spare parts, removed VAT on ticket fares. That is the 2020 Act. Even then, airlines were still suffering so many other multiple charges all over the place. Now, the new tax law has brought those things back.
All of them?
All of them. There's VAT now on importation of aircraft. So if you buy an aircraft of $80 million, you are supposed to pay 7.5% of $80 million. You and I do the mathematics from money borrowed from funds borrowed from the bank at 30-35%. So you bring in spare parts, you pay 7.5% on your spare parts. Ticket fares will hit 1.something million soon. If
with this new tax regime?
Yes,
from January.
From January, with 7.5% on ticket fares. And ICAO, this in annex stated that you are not supposed to charge VAT on air ticket fares on transportation. Here we are doing it. Even our dear president signed certain things with the ECOWAS, it's an ECOWAS protocol. Yes, that will go into effect on January 1st. They signed it in 2024 to take effect this January 1st, whereby certain things are exempted. Aviation is a peculiar sector. It's a catalyst for the economy. It's not supposed to be used in the way they are trying to use it to generate revenue for government. That's why the airports are not developing. The money being generated by the airports are supposed to be used for the airports, not the other way around. You could see the picture and videos of what happened in Abuja during this period. A crowd of thousands of people in a very small place. The present government is doing everything possible to improve aviation. We in AON appreciate Mr. President for what he has been doing for aviation. The last time was 4% FOB. Customs we are charging, and we took it to the presidency. The Honorable Minister of Finance and the DG of Customs and the President removed it within 24 hours. We are very grateful. Now we are talking about the implementation of the new tax reform. If we implement that tax reform, Nigeria Airlines will go down in 3 months. The bashing of Nigerian Airlines got to stop, and it's very painful when it's coming from government agencies that are supposed to know better. Using the word exploitative and coordinated price fixing and all that is very, very unfair to these airlines. How did you get to, what are the parameters, or what were the parameters they used to get to that conclusion that airlines were doing coordinated price fixing, or maybe hiking prices arbitrarily? I mean, what they used to get to that. Now let's take it this way. Let's take the Southeast, for instance. When you fly to the Southeast at this period in time, you're coming back almost empty. Who pays for the cost of that aircraft coming back? we're not running charter, even charter operations. When you charter a jet, you're paying for that jet going to drop you off, and for that jet coming back empty. You're paying for both. Some people are accused, for instance, Airpeace saying, oh, Airpeace, you brought Nigerians back from South Africa free of charge, or you brought people free of charge from, why are you not doing this one? They're not the same thing. When we intervened in those places, lives were at risk. You decided on your own to go and enjoy Christmas in your village, and you want the airline to bear the costs of your transportation. It's very, very unfair. And people who should explain better to them are not doing so. Airlines in Nigeria are being demonized for nothing. It's a selfless service, I can even say. It's just that the shareholding is not getting anything out of airline business. It's addictive, that's all. But in Nigeria, they think you make so much money, bring him down, bring him down. But when government agencies are involved, it becomes very worrisome. To start with, it is untrue that every fare is 500,000 or 400,000. When you go to the inventory, you will still see 150,000. So the thing is that during Christmas period, people buy ahead of time. You can get 5 or 10 tickets costing 150,000. You can sit down on the same aircraft with somebody who paid 125,000 naira. Then you can also sit down with someone who has paid 350,000 naira. It graduates. That is the standard in aviation. Nigeria is not different. Then of course, when you go to the southeast, you take a full load to the southeast. It's not profitable. As you're coming back almost empty. Sometimes zero is the word. We have them. Sometimes zero. Who pays for that? For example, if you take a waitlist aircraft and you're paying about $6,000 per hour, when you multiply that by 1,500, you're already getting 8 million. You talk about other taxes. People are just shouting about the airlines. How much of this money is actually coming to the airline? When you look at it, almost 70 or 65% of that money are not coming to the airlines. They're going somewhere else. Levies and taxes and some other charges. But we are the sacrificial lamb. Everybody is sacrificing the airlines, even people who pretend not to know. So it's very unfortunate that Nigerian airlines are being bashed.